Welcome to Bobby Top Adventures. I'm Bobby Top, and I got disappearance clearance for the weekend. It is last weekend in January 2024, and I'm out in Gifford Pinchot National Forest. As a matter of fact, I'm at a location that I was once at before in January of last year. It's kind of a redo. Last year I kind of got in my head and ended up leaving that night. I was too close to the river and just all the rocks moving in the river from the water, and just it seemed like there was a overhang on the bank, and got in my head that it was rainy and the bank was going to fall. It was stupid. But I ended up leaving that night, so not going to do it tonight. Fairly close to where I was last month, where the trees were falling down, but a little bit further down, plus the wind is not even near as bad. It's just a slight breeze. I was able to find a place where I got my hammock set up. It's a decent spot. When I pulled in and I got set up here, looked around, and found some elk tracks that were kind of going through the campsite. So I was doing what I can to fairly be quiet, but they're not going to come around with me here. But it would be interesting to see. Maybe in the morning, we'll see. But as I got in, I pulled up and I set up my tarp first thing. It was raining, so I set up the tarp to cover up over the hammock. I was hoping I'd find a spot for the hammock because it's rain. They said steady stream rain all day, and then showers at night. So I wanted to stay off the ground. So that's the reason for the hammock. I did bring a cot in case I couldn't find a hammock spot. But as I get to the hammock, one of the trees that I got that is hooked up to the 20-foot strap barely fits around it. Like, it's exactly 20 foot in diameter. So, or in diameter. Circumference. It's 20 feet in circumference. It's a big tree. So, luckily, I had my Camelback that I take riding. And so I have a 550 cord wrapped up thing that I carry with me in case I get stuck in a ditch, and it allows I can wrap it around the front forks, or someone can help me wrap it around the front forks to help pull out from that from that angle. So that I tied to the strapper on that tree so that I can get it further away from the tree. Worked out perfect. It's got a good sag, good hang. I have my sleeping bag in there. It's a Walmart special. It's a Teton. I think it's a 0 degree. And then I have my underquilt, which is a one Tigris. It's pretty thick too. I'm not sure what the rating is on that, and I haven't seen it since I bought it, so I don't think they make that anymore. I've had it for about 6 years. But what I do have new is I can't remember the name of it, but it is it's a wind to help break stop the wind from going into the underquilt to help kind of hold that heat in. So we'll see how that works. First time I'm using that. Not even sure if I set it up right. So we'll see. I've never used it before. Because this is the coldest it's been in a hammock since actual camping wise anyway. So we'll see how it works. Hopefully keep that little bit of breeze off and maintain some of that heat. And then once I got my camp set up, got the tarp set up, I got a dry spot that I could use because the rain was coming down still. I needed to go gather up some firewood, try to find some firewood that is dry. So I knew going in that this was going to be a difficult fire starting thing because it's all rain, rain, rain. And it's been raining. There was snow that melted several times, so the ground is just saturated. All the down trees are just saturated. So very difficult. We'll see. And I was able to find some. So I took across the street is the dirt bike trail. The Blue Lake dirt bike trail, that's where I'm at, near there. So I walked along the Blue Lake trail up the hill a little bit. A lot of down trees. There's going to be some work to be done during in the spring for that thing to get back up. A lot of down trees over the trail. But as I got up in elevation a little bit, there was a couple pieces. There was one larger piece. I cut it in half. It was dry in the middle. And so I drug those back here, back down the hill. And I did see some elk and deer prints on the trail. I figured I would, just because there's no dirt bikes going on there. So the game are going to use the trail. So I brought those pieces of wood back here, leaned them up against the tree here next to the hammock, and then I went back and went the other way on the trail to see if I could find some more. And man, it was a beautiful walk. Huge trees that we just couldn't stop, but just couldn't help but stop and look at. It was just an awesome sight to see. All the moss, rainforesty, cascade, typical Pacific Northwest woodland, and it was just, I love it. So watching that, walking through there, and every little bit of wood that I was able to find there was drenched or rotten, too far, not worthy of any firewood. I got back to camp and started to process the wood that I got. Sawed it up into pieces. Normal little firewood logs. It was very dry in the inside. For the ones that I found out on the trail, I did find some more after I'd cut those up, and that was definitely wet. But I have hopes that when I start the fire with the dry stuff and get the fire going, I'll have the wet stuff next to it to help dry it out and get the good coals, so hopefully it'll burn. A lot of trash in this area I've been picking up. Just throwing it in the bed of the truck for now, and then I'll collect it all tomorrow, put it in a bag. So once I got all the firewood processed, so my goal for this trip was in a rainy situation of firewood, of being able to start a fire without cheating, without using with using just what I have around with a ferro rod. Broke down the wood even more. You can, as I dug into it with, split it with the hatchet and the knife, just getting all that dry wood exposed to get things going. The lichen ended up not being as dry as I would have liked, so that didn't really catch very well. I swear I think I used half of my ferro rod just trying to get this thing lit. But the lichen was just too wet. The wood wasn't really good for feathering. That and my knife was a little bit dull, so the feathers were a little thicker than I would have liked. But they were falling off, so I wasn't able to feather as well as I would have liked. Those actually did get going once I got a little bit of fire going. So I ended up having to break out my fire starter kit. I had made some char cloth, and so throwing a spark on that thing and trying to get it going, still difficult, but I did have some in that kit. I also had some dryer lint, and so once I got a little bit of a spark on that, the dryer lint went up pretty good. I was able to get the feathers lit, but that was about it. It was going for a little bit, and then it just kept dying, and then it started raining again. So I was originally going to do the fire here under the tarp, but there's an established pit over there, so I'd rather use the established pit than leave no trace here. And so I didn't build anything here, but might have been a little bit better just to keep the rain off of it. But once it started raining and it was in the beginnings of starting, said screw it. But yeah, I'm fixing to crawl into that sleeping bag and get nice and cozy and warm in that hammock. Good morning. Well, it's 7 o'clock. Still dark out here. I've been up since 4, on and off since 4, just because I had a coyote come visit me in the camp. It was splashing around in a puddle right next to my hammock, and I managed to chase it off. I think there was 2 animals. One was a coyote, because I ended up getting my light on that thing. It was either another coyote or it was chasing something. I'm not sure, but definitely one coyote. So needless to say, I didn't get much sleep after that. So I was on and off. I did doze a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that. Eagles are screaming. It's awesome. That's awesome. But like I said, it's just after 7 o'clock. I packed up the hammock. Everything's packed up. I just have the tarp set up to keep me dry. Sitting here just kind of chilling, waiting for sunrise. And plan today is to, once the sun comes up, I was gonna move further into to the forest just to see how far I can go before I hit the snow. Go back to where I camped last month, see what the difference is, if it's covered in snow yet or not. There's just a bobcat on the road.